The county just suddenly took over all airport operations. And this all went down Thursday and Friday. And they've already transitioned American airports out. I guess they were getting too greedy. As you know, they're not supposed to be living here. But it's not completely obvious that I am. But, people speculate. They do speculate. So this is a problem because I don't know what the new regime is going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if people are going to be assholes. One thing's for certain, they're coming in and they're going to do an inspection of all the hangars that are here, all of them. That's what I understand right now. So I've been in scramble mode last week up until now to make sure I'm ready, and if somebody comes in with a magnifying glass of scrutiny, they see that everything is in order, everything is tip-top and clean, and not, some storage tank or, greasy, dirty facility. And most importantly, to the scrutinizing eye, they couldn't tell that I'm living here or not. So all of this inspection and last-minute stuff just really got hatched on me in earnest yesterday, and not really sure what's going to happen. If you hear uncertainty in my voice, that's what that is. But let's play this by ear. I just feel like a fucking idiot. You can't help me at all. Can't help me at all. So I know that you've been sending prayers and good vibes, but I also know that what I need is money. Look, I've got over 45 of these watches. Really bad situation with having to see Dennis today, and just really in trouble, really in financial trouble. So, in as much as I know that you can't loan me $100,000 or invest $100,000 into me, what am I worth? What can you invest in me? Nothing? Maybe 10,000? Maybe 20,000? Anything would help me right now. That I'm turning to you for help. So let me know if you can do anything financially to help me. Because that's what I really need right now. And that's why I'm turning to you.
Aerotique versus Nehemiah.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Honor. Monica Malakian for plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Maverick Miles Nehemiah.
Good afternoon.
The case with him, and it says he wants to file a demur. So he was served. He acknowledges the summons and complaint, and that letter is attached to the opposition. So it's not a matter of not being aware, it's a matter of not doing something, not filing an answer. Now, the default judgment was not actually filed for a month later, so the defendant has plenty of time. I know there's excuses in this declaration about not being able to e-file it properly, etc. Well, as a pro per defendant, he doesn't have to e-file. He can simply walk up to the window and file something. I think an excuse he uses is that someone died, therefore he had to be out of town for that funeral. There is no specific, we don't have a date when this took place, we don't have a date when the defendant was out of town and when he came back in town. It's all based on hearsay and no evidence whatsoever, just basically excuses. And the defendant has had plenty of time to file whatever he needed to file. We are how many months, 2.5 months after the original service, more than that. And so it's a little too late to come in and give excuses and say, I want to do over. That should not happen. There's also a lot of ideas that the defendant has that in his declaration that are simply plain wrong, such as he believes that this service should have been by publication, not by posting, but by publication. Or that plaintiff needed to do a meet and confer before submitting a request for entry of default, or that upon defendant's request, plaintiff's counsel was supposed to provide him with yet another copy of the subsequent complaint. Those are all wrong. There's nothing in the law for any of those. So, I think plaintiff has done everything properly. The steps that plaintiff took were properly taken. Enough time has passed by since then, and therefore this should be denied. And if the court has any further questions, I will answer, but I think there's a pretty good opposition as well.
Your Honor, this is an example of a number of comedy of errors, starting with 3-day notice that was posted on the door. I think that the plaintiff has come to a consensus that you can hop, skip, and jump over due process and just arrive at a default judgment. I had looked at the unifor to see that the case was pending, and it was supposed to be a hearing on the notice on the 12th of August. And of course, things were still pending, so there was no reason for me to answer at that point. But then I also noticed
That was a mistake. Go ahead.
And so, thinking that there would be a hearing on the 12th about the proper notice, the plaintiff in the interim slipped in a default judgment. And of course, when the default judgment came in, I responded as quickly as I could. And this, of course, has been what I've been chasing ever since. So in my mind, and most importantly, the process that has occurred, I was never served. The address and the information that was on the 3-day notice, the address was wrong, the amount of money they were asking for was erroneous, was wrong. All those documents were going. And what happens at the airport, Your Honor, is that these mailings will come to the airport administration, and they will hold them sometimes 2 or 3 months before you would actually get that letter. I actually had that happen in this instance. So this is the reason why I was stating that there wasn't proper notice, there wasn't proper service, and this is what I stand.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing, to serve Maverick at the airport, an airport operations person has to physically walk the process server to the hangar where we serve it. And I got the guy at the airport, his name, the day he did it, he got served.
I have his declaration.
Your Honor, I was never served personally. I was never served in person.
Okay.
The process server must have stuck it somewhere. He may have put it on the door. The only thing I ever saw was a 3-day notice that was on the door.
Okay. Anything else from counsel?
Yes, and, the defendant, the only thing he saw was what you just said. That means that he never got the court's notice, which is that statutory notice the court is required to send, and I'm sure it was sent, unless the court tells me it was returned for some reason, that did go out. The request for entry of default would have also gone to the defendant. And so, to say that he never saw anything, it just makes no sense whatsoever. It's not believable.
Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may. A service would normally happen if a process server came to my unit, AT6, knocked on the door, I opened the door, and they said, "You've been served." That's a service. Everything else that has occurred has been a substituted service, or the plaintiff alleging that they mailed it or they sent it, because of the errors, that it never came to my mailing address, that everything is documented at 10,000 Air Park Way. That is the airport administration building. That is not the physical address of the hangar unit itself. All of the information that I have from the United States Postal Service is 12653 Osborne Street, hangar AT6, box GM12, which I have a box at that airport where my mail comes. This is my last statement that I can make about everything being incorrect on that notice.
Okay, submit it. I will send you an order once I have it. Haven't figured it out yet. Yes, sir, you want to say something?
Sure. I started a whole service with Maverick back in March. I got a lockout he got another attorney, we agreed on a whole payment plan, that he was gonna pay everything off in 5 months, move out, and be done with it. So I stopped the lockout because of his word. I've got signed documentation here that we all agreed on. He paid for 2 months, stopped paying. In our agreement, if he stopped paying, I could start the service again and lock him out. He owes me $40,000 of rent. I've been running with this for 6 years.
What he failed to neglect to tell you, Your Honor, is that I asked him for a 30-day stay because I had fallen ill. I had gotten pneumonia, and I had a lot of medication I was under, and the doctor had asked me, look, you're gonna stress yourself out, you're gonna end up in the hospital on a ventilator. So my attorney asked Mr. Giangreco for a 30-day stay. He refused.
Matter submitted. I will send you an order. Thank you.
You guys are finished for the day. Thank you.